Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor, and in a recent video I mentioned the first fish that I ever caught. I didn't say what it was, but by now you've realised, of course, the gudgeon. Back in the 60s I was a kid. I can't remember the date, the month, I can't even remember the year, but it was way back when I was a child, fishing the Staffs Worcestershire Canal, a venue that I still target to this day for other species. And it was a place called the Bratch just outside Wombourne. And do you know, that very first fish has stayed with me all of my life so far, and I'm sure it'll be there till I'm on my deathbed. Not that I want to sound morbid, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I've been wanting to have a go for gudgeon for quite a while now, and the Staffs Worcestershire Canal, unfortunately the huge shoals that used to be in there aren't there anymore. Chub have been introduced and they've certainly grown fat on the gudgeon, but this particular pool that I'm on now has a good head, and so here I am having an afternoon targeting the fish that started me off all those years ago. On the video I did ask for people to send me their first fish, if they could remember the first fish that they caught, maybe a couple of lines, where they caught it, that sort of thing. So during the course of this particular video you'll see up on the screen people's names and something about their first fish. And the float dipped, and then it raced underneath the water, and what have I caught? There it is, the humble gudgeon. And another one bites the dust. There it is, a little bit smaller than the first fish I caught, but I'll tell you something, this is great. I've caught lots of gudgeon over the years, of course, but to target them again after so long, well, that's something special. I haven't got the time to show the bite because it's all so quick. They don't exactly fight, do they? You can't switch the camcorder on while you're playing one of these little creatures. I'll tell you something though, and that's why you kneel down when you've got a fish in your hand, regardless of whether it's a gudgeon or a barbel. I'll tell you something though, I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting a bite every cast now, and so I'm hoping to get one for the camera. The float's gone, yes! I've actually caught one. They're great, aren't they? Especially when you target them like I am today. There it is. And the float's going. Sounds like an auctioneer. Gone! Oh, missed that one. I'll tell you something, I haven't had a 100% hit rate so far. If I was in a contest now, well, I wouldn't be doing very well, would I? I'm float fishing today, which is quite unusual because most of my angling tends to be with the ledger. For practical reasons, I also enjoy it as well. Do a lot of night fishing, isotope on the end of the rod, perfect. But I'll tell you something, as I've repeated myself so far a few times, and no doubt I will through the rest of the session, I'm actually enjoying this and certainly enjoying watching the float disappear. I'm fishing a giant crystal, although it's anything but giant. It's a 3 number 4 anchored with a couple of shot there. I'm in 5 feet of water. I've got shot down to get me on the bottom quickly. Gudgeon are basement feeders, of course, and the business end, a little shot there, that's a number 6 I think, to anchor, and then a size 18 hook and a single maggot. And the float's gone, I missed that one, but I'm going to eat while I'm fishing. And today's food, I've got a flask of tea as per usual and a bag of apples. 8 big green apples, that'll do me nicely. Missed that one. Oh, I missed another one. It's not as easy as you think. That's a pip, especially when you're trying to eat an apple. And I've just caught my second species of the session, a perch. And this is smaller than the gudgeon that I've been catching. So that gives you an idea of just how tiny this fish is. I just caught 6 or 7 perch on the trot, although they were very, very small, apart from one which needed the net. I think what it proves is that they muscle the gudgeon out, don't they? But not to be outdone, one's got in on the act and snatched the maggot before the perch could. Loads of perch, loads of gudgeon, and my first roach. I'm continuing to catch loads of gudgeon and perch, but I've just caught my third roach. I'm coming towards the end of the session now, and it's been action all the way. There hasn't been a period of quiet at all. Every single cast I've had some sort of a bite, not always a fish, but I've had some sort of a bite. It's actually been great fun. But whether you're targeting small gudgeon like I am today, or you're going for a 60-pound carp in a 100-acre gravel pit, you still need to think your session through. And what I've done today, very carefully, I've been fishing with maggots. I've been putting just a slow trickle of bait out every time I've cast. I've put maybe 5, 6, sometimes 10 maggots out there, so that I haven't overfed the swim. Last thing you want to do is put 2, 3, 4 gallons of maggots in one go. At the same time, you need to put some bait out, so I've tried to gauge it so that the fish out there, I've been keeping them keen. In addition, I've been putting brown crumb out there, so that certainly brought them in, kept them there, and as I've proved, it's all worked perfectly. The video comes to an end now. I've caught about 20 roach, and I've lost count of the small perch and gudgeon that I've caught, certainly well in excess of 100. And here's the final fish for the camera, a nice gudgeon. Anyway, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from him. Out and about yourself, tight lines, and I'll see you next week.